Oh hey, what's up tube? Wellington here and welcome to this video. We're going to be taking a close look at the JBL Extreme 2 and we're also going to be comparing it to the JBL Extreme. That goes for what features have been changed or upgraded or downgraded, and we're also going to be comparing the sound. So a review and sound battle. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, so the unboxing experience is going to be like any other JBL speakers, nothing fancy. And in the box you'll find the JBL Extreme 2, a power adapter, the paperwork stuff, and a strap which is kind of been improved. It now has a bottle opener. And why are you giving me a black strap to go with a blue speaker? It just kind of looks like a knockoff. It just doesn't look right. As far as design, there are a few touch-ups here and there. This Extreme 2 is slightly bigger than the Extreme, but the main frame or skeleton, if you want to call it that, is not changed. As you can see, the speaker look pretty much the same with just minor touch-ups here and there. You still have your buttons up here. The only difference is that instead of the JBL Connect, you now have the JBL Connect Plus on the new JBL Extreme 2, which is fantastic because that means you are able to connect all the new JBL Connect Plus enabled speakers with this new JBL Extreme 2. The PRs have a new design on them with the 3D JBL logo print, and I am personally conflicted on this. I thought I liked the design of the old PRs, but the more I look and use the new speaker and look at these ones, the more I'm like, I kind of don't mind them. So it's kind of a toss-up on that one. You still have your strap hooks up here, but they are slightly redesigned. They look bigger, beefier, and I personally think they actually look better than the old ones here. And since this is a waterproof speaker, they now have all your ports behind here, behind this flap. And this is where you will find your charging ports. And yep, they still have no USB or micro USB charging or even USB-C charging. Not cool, JBL. And next to that is one USB port for charging your power-hungry devices, a service port, and lastly a 3.5mm audio input. And as always make sure you have this completely sealed off pretty tight before you submerge or expose the speaker to water. Otherwise, it's gonna go kaput and your warranty will not cover it. So always make sure that's sealed before exposing the speaker to water. That's a pro tip right there. They still have your power indicators right here down at the bottom, just like the Extreme. They have different feet here. They look a little bit nicer, so that is a nice touch. There's not really any difference in the grip on the surface, but they are different. And the material, as we all know, that's what JBL has been doing for the last few speakers that they've been making with the fabric material, so that is still there. But I think, well, they have the cool JBL Extreme 2 logo on there, so that is new. But I think that's it for the outside. Now let's focus on what they have housed inside the speaker and see what's the difference between the two internally. The JBL Extreme 2 is slightly heavier than the JBL Extreme by about half a pound, and they updated from Bluetooth 4.1 on the JBL Extreme to Bluetooth 4.2. I was hoping for something like 5.0 as far as Bluetooth version, but we're still rocking 4.2 on most speakers. I'm not sure why, because it's been out for quite some time now. but Bluetooth manufacturers or makers are still running 4.2 at the most. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know. The Xtreme 2 is now completely waterproof. You can submerge it into water and it will not be affected at all. That's in comparison to the JBL Xtreme, which only is splash proof, IPX5 rating, whereas this one has IPX7 rating. They have shuffled around the sizes of the drivers too here a little bit. We now have 70mm drivers in the JBL Xtreme 2. Compare that to the 63mm drivers that we had in the JBL Xtreme. And we had 35mm tweeters in the JBL Xtreme, and they have downscaled that to 20mm tweeters in the JBL Xtreme 2. Now, the next thing that is probably affected by the changes in the drivers is the frequency response rating. Now, we only had 70 Hz lowest rated on the JBL Xtreme, but now the lowest rating on the frequency curve on the JBL Xtreme 2 is 55 Hz, which is good. Don't get me wrong, that is really good. At least we're not at 70. But I honestly was hoping for something a little bit lower than that, something like maybe 20 Hz or at least 40 Hz, at least 40 Hz. I mean, Sony is doing that with their XP speakers, the XP40, the XP41, the XP31. They can all go as low as 20 Hz. Not as loud, like you can barely hear it, but it is there. And I was hoping for something like that for a speaker this big, a newest version. I don't know why JBL could not go at least lower than 55, but disappointed, but I'm happy that at least they went lower than the Xtreme. And talking about frequency response, maybe this is a good time that we get a sound sample of these two speakers so we can compare and contrast and see which one maybe sounds better. And we will start that with a frequency response test. As usual, I will record this using a high quality binaural microphone. So for the best experience, please use headphones. And with that said, let's hear the speakers speak. Enjoy. There's like nothing there. It's barely anything there.
Hold on, girl, now wait just a minute. I've got something to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced.
Okay, so as you could hopefully tell, the bass performance of the JBL Extreme 2 is better than that of the JBL Extreme. Surprise, surprise. Overall, I think the JBL Extreme 2 sounds better. It has a wider dynamic range in its sound. It sounds cleaner, and overall, I think the JBL Extreme 2 sounds better. And you're asking which one is louder? Well, that's where things start to get a little bit funky. See, when the Extreme 2 is plugged in, it's about as loud as the JBL Extreme. They're about the same. But when this is running off its batteries, when the JBL Extreme 2 is running off battery, no cords attached, the Extreme is louder than the JBL Extreme 2. Why they would do that, I have no idea. My guess is they didn't want to cut down the playtime hour or the advertised playtime hour on the JBL Extreme 2, so they wanted to keep it at 15 hours playtime on the box. But since this has bigger drivers and it has bigger bass, which means will drain power a little bit more than this. So instead of putting in a bigger battery, they thought, well, we just cut down the consumption of the speaker during the battery mode, so it does not drain the battery, which will make it less hours to get out of it compared to the JBL Extreme. So instead of going that route, so because they wanted to save that, they just cut down the power consumption, the power output of the Extreme 2, just to keep the power, the play time the same on the two speakers. I don't get it. I would have preferred the speaker to at least have 12 hours of play time advertised and have it loud, because when someone is buying these speakers here, it's not because they want to keep it plugged in. If you go outside, you want the speaker to be as loud as you can get it. You know what I mean? Instead of coming inside, plug it in. Oh, it's so loud when you plug it in, but I'm gonna be indoors. I don't want it to be as loud as it gets. I want the opposite. Go outside, you can make it as loud as you want. And when you come inside, you usually turn the speaker down because it's a confined, smaller room than the outside. But what JBL did here, I have no idea what they were thinking. I don't know. Okay, so I think those are the notable differences between these two speakers. I'm not sure if I missed something here. So the big question is it worth it to upgrade? Personally, yes, I would upgrade in a heartbeat. I kind of already did, and I'm gonna get rid of this. But here's the thing. The new upgraded, the improved performance in sound and the that better bass performance is good for me. I like bass, as most of you already know, and we now have a fully waterproof speaker, which is another plus. I hate the battery on the JBL Extreme. I suffer a lot. This stupid thing will tell me to go charge it, and I will go charge it. 2 minutes to say it's full. When I take another look at it, it will say it's only got like two bars on there. So the battery issues on the JBL Extreme are not very enticing, like welcoming, but I like this one here because at least so far its battery performs better. Well, I hate the fact that it has the stupid different performances during the AC or DC mode, but overall I think it's a better speaker. If JBL can put out maybe of a firmware update to where they take out that limitation during the battery mode, I would be very happy with this speaker. Otherwise, if you're someone who is looking for the loudest of the loudest when you go outside, I think this would be a better deal here. It's still it's splash proof, and it's louder outside, it's smaller, and you will be getting it cheaper because now this one's out. You're probably saving about at least $100 getting this. So there is that in addition to it. I think that's it. That covers this video. Please let me know what you think about these two speakers in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe, because I'm gonna be pushing out a lot of sound battles comparing the new JBL XTREME 2 to all the other speakers that you guys have requested a lot. There's so many. So if you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so. If you liked the video, leave it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to leave a dislike. I just want to get some sort of feedback from you because you watched the video. Yes, I think that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace. Whoop dee whoop, scoop booty scoop, poop, poop, poop. You didn't hear me sing that. No.